Chapter 100, The Palm Technique's Success. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. Zhang Yuochen was in a good mood, because he had reached the Black Realm's advanced stage and improved his cultivation greatly. As soon as the day was breaking, he visited Black Number 1 and asked Duan Muxingling to fight against him as a way to improve his palm technique. As his palm technique improved, Zhang Yuochen felt he was not far away from the success of Dragon Shape and Elephant Shadow. He just needed an opportunity to break through it. This feeling was wonderful. Zhang Yuochen didn't rashly break into Black Number 1. He stood outside and channeled genuine chi into his voice. "Senior sister, I want to practice palm technique with you again. Are you in there?" A moment later, Duan Muxingling opened up the door and stared at Zhang Yuochen with a drowsy look. "Don't you sleep?" Of course. Warriors were also normal people who needed to rest, but they just needed less. A Black Realm warrior only needed 2 hours of sleep to recover energy. As for Zhang Yuochen, he had powerful spiritual power, so it was enough for him to rest for an hour, and he used the remaining hours to practice. Even if he had not slept for 3 days and nights, he maintained a good mental state. Zhang Yuochen laughed apologetically and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. In that case, I'll visit you at noon." "Well, anyway, I've rested enough. Let's start now so that I can avoid your bother at noon. Did you have progress in your palm technique?" Duan Muxingling led him into the square of Dragon Martial Temple, stood upright with her one hand on her back and crooked her finger to beckon him. "Today, we fight in this place. I will still use one hand and you can attack me with all your power." Zhang Yuochen stared at Duan Muxingling, and nodded softly. He was very grateful to this beautiful sister who was only 13 or 14 years old. She is a warrior of division profound. How can the average person find her to practice? He was able to make so much progress because Duan Muxingling helped him a lot. "Oh woo!" Zhang Yuochen roared and circulated his genuine chi. Finally, a stream of blood flowed from his pores and condensed into a faint blood column soaring into the sky. Soaring animal spirits. He reached the Black Realm's advanced stage so soon? Duan Muxingling blinked, fluttering her eyelashes, and she was shocked by his rapid improvement. For just 5 days, Zhang Yuochen had made huge progress. Duan Muxingling could easily see that every day was a new step forward for his cultivation. It's unbelievable that he could make such a huge advance at such a high speed, even if he had enough practice resources. The rattling bones and muscles sounded like a dragon's cry as well as an elephant's roar. The spiritual blood he let out got thicker and thicker. Swish. He moved, turned into a fast wind and dashed out. His speed reached 44 meters per second, a whole new level. How fast? His speed is equal to the Black Realm's final state warriors. Duan Muxingling's eyes became brighter with the shock of his talent. If she hadn't witnessed what happened herself, she wouldn't have believed he could become so powerful within half a month. Finally, she had enough confidence that Zhang Yuochen could defeat Feng Zilin. Given the speed of his progress, it will not be difficult for him to defeat Feng Zilin in half a month. Duan Muxingling put out her hands and gave off genuine chi from the hollow of her hands. Her footsteps were flowing like treading on the wind. She attacked Zhang Yuochen directly with one single palm, and a faint billow of genuine chi quickly appeared in front of her palm. Boom! Zhang Yuochen took 3 steps back after receiving Duan Muxingling's strike. Her genuine chi was so cold that it made a layer of white frost form on Zhang Yuochen's hands, which left his hands numb. It was the first time that Duan Muxingling had attacked him proactively. Zhang Yuochen wasn't frightened but overjoyed and clapped towards Duan Muxingling. Pure genuine chi inside Zhang Yuochen's body surged out and quickly thawed the frost on his hands. Duan Muxingling moved as quickly as a ghost and unleashed a dexterous palm technique. She forced Zhang Yuochen to step back continuously without any chance to attack back. After 3 strikes, Duan Muxingling slapped on Zhang Yuochen's chest, making him fly out 10 meters. Zhang Yuochen slapped the ground, turned over in the air, and landed on the ground firmly. Under the palm attack of Duan Muxingling, his 5 internal organs and 6 hollow organs had been strongly shocked and he'd gotten a little hurt. Duan Muxingling laughed. "Can you guess how much power I used?" Zhang Yuochen just shook his head. Duan Muxingling continued. I just used half my power, which was equal to that of a Black Realm's final state warrior. It's great that you could catch 3 strikes. Jiang Yuochen laughed bitterly. But you just used one hand. Juan Muxingling shook her head and said, I know more about martial arts than a Black Realm's final state warrior, so it's only fair to use one hand. The reason why Juan Muxingling held back her cultivation to the Black Realm's final state was that Feng's Island's cultivation was at that level. Juan Muxingling said, if you have the ability to force me to use the other hand, or if you can force me back, you will defeat Feng's Island. Okay, let's do it again. Having a strong fighting spirit, Jiang Yuochen attacked Juan Muxingling again. At this time, he not only used the 4th movement of Dragon and Elephant Prajna Palm but also used the first 3 palms. Elephant galloping, Dragon in the sky, Dragon and Elephant returning to earth, Dragon shape and Elephant shadow. After he unleashed the 4 palms, Jiang Yuochen's genuine chi decreased. He was hit, flew out, and nearly fell to the ground. This all made him feel very dispirited. All the 4 palm techniques are powerful. Well, very well. Juan Muxingling wore a silvery smile. Again, Jiang Yuochen didn't get discouraged, and attacked Juan Muxingling again. This time, he caught 6 strikes. After that, Juan Muxingling grasped his chest and threw him off. Jiang Yuochen turned in the air and steadied his body. He pushed down with his legs, and one hand caught the ground, but he did not fall. Incredible. Duan Xingxing stared at Jiang Yuochen and felt that Jiang Rushan's breath became stronger and stronger. It was like a prone figure lying on the ground. Jiang Yuochen had an unwavering look with the jade-white genuine chi running quickly through the 36 meridians inside his body, and his 10 fingers turned pale like white jade. Slap. There was a splitting sound from under his feet and hand. The stone tablets had actually cracked. Dragon shape and Elephant shadow. Jiang Yuochen flew up and attacked towards Juan Muxingling. In Juan Muxingling's view, Jiang Yuochen divided into 2 and became 2 people. One unleashed the dragon's claw, the other unleashed the elephant's palm. They came from 2 directions. This is. Juan Muxingling changed her expression slightly and channeled genuine chi into her index finger. She pointed out it towards the Jiang Yuochen on the left and repelled him. Suddenly, Jiang Rukan from the right side attacked and slammed his hand on her chest. Juan Muxingling bent back into an arch with her hands on the ground. She then raised her leg to kick towards Jiang Yuochen's wrist. Suddenly, the right and left Jiang Yuochen merged into one and he unleashed his 2 palms at the same time. Juan Muxingling converged her genuine chi and slapped out her palm. Boom. Jiang Yuochen stood steadily while Juan Muxingling catapulted backward about 16 meters. She dug in her feet and steadied her position. Juan Muxingling looked at Jiang Yuochen with shock and asked, is the power you're using a successful level of Dragon shape and Elephant shadow? Jiang Yuochen withdrew his palms and nodded. What do you think of this power? It's equal to the palm technique of a mid-class spiritual stage. Juan Muxingling laughed and continued. You have a 70% chance of beating Feng Xilen with your current power. In the beginning, Juan Muxingling didn't believe that Jiang Yuochen was able to defeat Feng Xilen in 1 month. The reason why she helped him was that she wanted to give him a better chance of saving himself. After all, it was difficult for Western Campus to bring up a genius like Jiang Yuochen, and it would too bad if he died on the life and death platform. She did not expect that Jiang Yuochen had developed the ability to defeat Feng Xilen within half a month. She had witnessed each step of his progress, and it was incredible. However, she didn't know that the space domain was Jiang Yuochen's biggest advantage, which he kept to himself. If he displayed the power of the space domain, then he had a 100% chance of beating Feng Xilen. Jiang Yuochen said, thanks for your help. I couldn't have practiced to a successful level in such a short time without your help. Juan Muxingling laughed. I'm just afraid you will lose face for Dragon Martial Temple. For of this reason, I helped you practice palm techniques. After all, you belong to Yellow Number 1. I'm curious about how strong your cultivation will be after half a month. You will know it when I fight on the life and death platform in half a month. Since my palm technique has reached a successful level, I won't bother you anymore. See you. Jiang Yuochen said courteously and walked towards Yellow Number 1. Juan Muxingling stared at his back, her eyes flashing. He is very talented and it will not be long before he practices to the Black Realm's completion. Sister Chen picked up a treasure. Why can't I pick up a genius like this? Zhang Yuochen went back to yellow number 1 and continued to practice while grasping 2 spiritual crystals in his hand. He was absorbing spiritual chi to consolidate his realm. Practicing in the internal space of the time and space spinal for 3 days could consolidate the Black Realm's advanced stage thoroughly. Of course, as he had just reached the Black Realm's advanced stage, his genuine chi was only 20% of the chi pool and there was a huge space to fill. The capacity of his chi pool had enlarged 10 times when he reached the Black Realm's advanced stage and could hold much more genuine chi.